nice to see you. Let me turn this just a little bit this way so you don't see my little, all my stuff over here. It's all my Christmas stuff that I got yesterday. And Delilah, let me see if I can turn this down here. She's so cute. She's snug. She's snug as a bug in a rug. There she is. She got her little jersey on. It's cold here in Florida. She's sitting behind me, so that tells me she's cold. So I wrapped her up in her new little blankie. And now she doesn't want to move. She's just comfy as comfy can be. Right there. She's a little snuggle bug. She's a little snuggle bug. She's a happy snuggle bug. She's a happy snuggle bug. So why in the world did I just steal and hijack Seth's thumbnail, right? That's what I just did. I just hijacked Seth's thumbnail. Seth is the father of Sebastian Wayne Rogers. He just did a live last night, and Bullhorn Betty stole his thumbnail. Shame on me. Shame on me. The reason I stole his thumbnail is I wanted the whole entire, hey, Angelina, it's nice to see you. Good morning, my love. I hope you're doing well. I haven't gotten to emails. My emails have kind of went to the wayside. I do apologize. I will get to all of them in due time. When I get behind, I get behind. What can I say? What can I say? I hope everybody is doing well this morning. I thought last night was really great. It was very emotional for me. Going through that, I really was crying when they were talking to me, because it's like, this father's struggling. He doesn't even know where his son is, and he's thanking me, this loudmouth content creator that's just, fighting for his son. And I've gone through a lot, advocating for Sebastian Wayne Rogers, and I'm happy to do so. It sucks to go through it, but, of all the things that have gone on in my life, this is one of the most proud moments of my life. So we'll just keep going through this. Good morning, Chaos. It's nice to see you, my love. It's nice to see you. As everybody starts kind of rolling into chat, I did want to tell everybody why I stole the thumbnail. It's because some idiot content creator that has never gotten anything right, as a matter of fact, for years on this platform, has manufactured information and cases to make her look like she knows what she's talking about, or she used to have all these people calling into her show, being the neighbors, and of all these things for the years, throughout the years, we really believed in this content creator. And then we find out that all of it was just a con. It was a scam. She didn't have these people calling. These were people that she set up to call into her show. This lady is observant. I used AI. I just wanted to freshen up. I wanted to get we have limited photos of Sebastian Wayne Rogers, and wanted to enhance a photo of Sebastian. And not only that, that is one that I've used on my thumbnails for the last, I don't know, I think I created it 5 or 6 months ago. So it's been on multiple of my thumbnails. Not one person has ever said anything about it until it shows up on Seth's thumbnail. And then all of a sudden, Seth is sexualizing his son. Well, let me just break the news to everybody. I created that thumbnail for Seth. I wanted a nice Christmas-themed thumbnail. I had that 4K image that I used AI to convert. Never noticed that there was a hole in his ear for the last 6 months. And lo and behold, this crap content creator that's so observant over Sebastian's photo in that, she was unobservant that the man she climbed on top of was not her husband. It was my boyfriend. But she's so observant with these thumbnails. I just find that ironic. I also find it ironic that this particular content creator walked off and left her own children to be with another man because she cheated on her husband then. And she ended up winding down here with Florida with this man that she left her children and her other husband for, and married him. And then she doesn't care about her own kids, but all of a sudden she cares about Sebastian Wayne Rogers. Then we go to the fat cow with the horns propping up the crown. Same thing. This woman's so ultra concerned, has nothing but trash to say about Seth, right? But where's her kids? She's got one out of how many kids did she pop out of her? You know what? I'm just curious. Because that lady's got to steal money from from her $70,000+ from her congregation of misfits to buy her daughter, so she looks like she's not a piece of shit mom, a car. What about her other children that she doesn't take care of? So I find it awfully appalling that we got two mothers that have basically gotten rid of their children, worried about somebody else's kid. And not just worried about somebody else's kid, condemning that person. First and foremost, I would condemn yourselves before you worry about condemning another parent, because both of you are pieces of garbage moms, okay? One's a thug, and one's just a dirty ass, can't keep her legs closed woman that has just went down because we called her out, we exposed her con, and guess what? What did she do? She stopped doing real true crime and went over to the hate channels. If that doesn't show you her character, I don't know what will. J for J is not the same J for J that was covering cases when I was back in Gabby Petito. Her whole entire life got put on display, especially after she got sued by the Star networks, right? And she has gone steadily downhill since then. Is she making her numbers? Yeah, of course she is. She's a dumpster now, right? She's a dumpster for more things than just my ex's, you know what. So why are we even listening to a lady that talks like that, that treats a father like that? Like this lady, I would say, you know, I hope you have to walk the same shoes that Seth has to walk, right? Because sometimes people don't get it until they have to walk in the same shoes. But she has. She willingly did. She left her children like they were garbage from her state that she moved from to come here to Florida. Walked away from them. Didn't care. What a great mom. Maybe if she didn't look so dirty, like maybe washed her own hair, maybe she'd be a better mom. But it doesn't sound like she washes a whole lot. Just saying. Now, getting away from the drama and chaos that were brought about for such a wonderful night with people really caring about this child, the 16-year-old boy that disappeared when he was 15, hasn't been seen or heard from since. We learned that his mom and stepfather were abusing him, allegedly. We know that the mom was in the house. We saw videos of how the mom treated the son in public, and she's throwing, basically just tossing over menus. She didn't really carry on a conversation with him. She didn't really act like a mom that cared for her son. The whole time they were there, it seemed like he was just a thorn in her side. Well, she definitely, by the end of that evening, didn't have that thorn in her side anymore. I find that awfully funny. And with the level of attacks that have come from content creators that are bought and paid for by Chris and Katie, allegedly and in my opinion, those people are going overtime after Seth. Seth just did a Christmas live. Didn't bash anybody. Didn't have any need to bash anybody. Nobody bashed anybody. They kept it focused on Sebastian Rogers. And what did the other people do? They trashed him. Of course. And I don't know why he took his live off of private. It sounded like he was going to keep it private, but, you know, Justin For All said, turn it on, you know who the people that condemn him are. But every time that they condemn him, they're robbing Sebastian of his name. They're condemning Sebastian. When are people going to wake up to that aspect? When are they going to wake up to that aspect? Sebastian's been away from his dad no matter where he is, but it goes back to the elevated truth. You know, there's a statement that that elevated truth had made in his commentary, I believe yesterday. I don't know if it was on his yesterday's live or if it was on the one. Oh, I got time today. It's nice to see you. Oh, I got to say, did I say hi to everybody? I don't even know if I said hi to everybody. Hi, everybody. It's nice to see you this beautiful morning. Before we get started going down this road, I just wanted everybody to know why I had the thumbnail. I'm not going to harp on it too much, but I think The lady's just a nasty, dirty, she's physically dirty. I mean, she's got dreads in her hair. You can't get dreads in your hair without being filthy. I'm sorry, but that's just my opinion. Okay, you guys take it for what you will. If you got dreads in your hair, I'm sorry for offending you, right? But that's just how I feel. People that are clean typically don't get dreads in their hair. I did want to say thank you to a few people here. Deborah, thank you so much. Where's Deborah's card? What did I do with her card? There it is. It says, the Lord will bless his people with peace. Psalm 29:11. And it says, Andra, this Christmas may you be blessed with the joy of his presence and the quiet peace of the season. Thank you, Debbie. I appreciate that. And then we have our beautiful Sonia. I don't even know if she's in the house yet, but this says, Jesus is with you this Christmas. Praying you experience his peace, feel his love, and sense his presence in every part of the season. Merry Christmas. Love you both, Sonia. Thank you, Miss Sonia. And of course, Miss Sonia didn't come without some treats. Look, I love my mommy. And that's for Delilah, but she's in her hoodie right now because it's freezing cold outside. Oh, Ricky! Ricky, I hope you're doing well. I heard you were in the hospital. I have been praying for you, my friend. I hope you're doing well. I'd like to talk to you. Hopefully after this live, I will give you a call. I hope you're doing well. Merry Christmas to you too. And what did Miss Sonia put in my bag? It says, New Year, new challenges, same great God. If you guys have not gotten your shirt, get your shirt. I love this. I love it, love it, love it. New year, new challenges, same great God. If anybody knows about Sonia, she's been struggling a lot, and she still always seems to have time to put God first. Even when I was shaken in my faith, a lot of stuff was going on, and it just wouldn't stop. She reminded me that, God is great. We may not know what the reason for what we're going through is, why we're going through it, but there's a miracle in the end of it. And we have to believe that. We have to believe that. So I also wanted to show you, this is what it means. I mean, Sonia does mod for me, but she also has a shirt business. And, she she has her own bills that she has to deal with and stuff like that. This stuff right here is called overhead, okay? When you have things like this and you're running a business, this is called overhead, okay? These are things that most businesses would do away with because it takes away from the profit line, right? It's called overhead. And Sonia doesn't care. Every single shirt she gives this little package that has a lot of cute little stuff in it. And this one says, Jesus was given so you could be forgiven. And it gives you some stuff on the back of it. She also puts in a little card about her business and the Facebook group. But this is what's so important with the stuff that Sonia does. It's this stuff right here that goes into the packages across the United States. And if she mails stuff across the world, they're receiving this in every single package that she sends out. Every package gets this. And it gives us our top cases that we're talking about right now. Layla Santinello. It even gives you a QR code to get some more information, to call in a tip or lead. This is the stuff that makes the difference here on the Bullhorn Betty channel. Right here. Right here. These go in every single package. And then, of course, she gives you a nice instruction on how to care for your clothing. When Sonia became a mod for this channel, I had, I knew she did shirts. I had no problem with her doing shirts and stuff like that. And I've always wanted to, if I have the ability to help somebody, I do, right? And so I thought it was a great little partnership. She was a mod for our channel. She, sells shirts, and she does stuff like this in every single package, which really help get these victims' names out. And this is just a win-win for everybody. And not only that, she's so dedicated to these cases. She's out there with me searching. If I'm in Tennessee, she's right next to me. She's right next to me. People don't understand, the work that goes into this and how expensive it can be. Because trust me, this stuff right here, this laminated stuff, I don't know if you guys know. I mean, go check it out. Go to the print shop. Find out how much it costs to have stuff like this made. These are expenses for Sonia. This is an expense for Sonia. This is not free, okay? This is taking away from her overall profit doing stuff like this in every single box. But she does. Why? Because she's dedicated to the cases. And that's what I love. The people that I hang out with, they do for these cases. You never see that lady up on here complaining about what somebody else is doing. You never see her going and trying to bring pain or hurt or damage to somebody. She tries to always lift people up in such a positive way. Those are people that I like to surround myself with. If you don't have friends like that, ditch the friends you have and get friends like that. The work that we do in a lot of cases can be a thankless job, but it's doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. And those are the people that we like to surround ourselves with. And that's what I think in part attracts like Seth to our team, because it's not just about being loud. It's not about just pushing through the BS. It's not about having the tenacity, the passion, and the determination to push through the BS. It's about really, truly advocating from the heart. And I think that everybody, my mod squad, Sonia, Seth, Tony, I think that that's where our heart is when it comes to this. Whatever we can do to help, right? Even if it costs us money. Because Lord knows, this traveling around this country, it costs some really, 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 really expensive money. I'll tell you that. I will tell you that. When we started out, we were scripting nickels together. I remember, Olivia was babysitting, dog sitting, doing everything she could to scrimp and save for the next case. I was, selling things as much as I could. I even sold one of my trucks, my work truck. I couldn't even move my trailers because I needed money to go help a case, right? Those are the sacrifices that were made for a lot of these cases that people sit there and call us grifters. I don't see them selling anything to advocate for a child. We did. It was Summer Wells. We put all hands on deck and we put a lot of resources into that case to find out what happened. So I think the message today is it's the holiday season. And I guess you're finally going to get to see who the real pieces of garbage are out here, because anybody that can hurt another individual during the holiday season, an innocent individual, we're not talking about, the mom and stepdad here that disappeared their child, that has the whole world looking at them and wondering where they put him. We're talking about an innocent father that had nothing to do with his child, except, being railroaded by the mom and the clan to throw shade on him, to take shade off them. And that is the truth. The only reason why they're condemning Seth is because the whole world is breathing down their neck. The whole world. And if they can just throw one little tidbit of information that throws shade on the father, they will. But it's kind of funny because Seth could do no wrong at the beginning of this case. It's only when everybody started identifying the mom and the stepdad as being the most culpable or the most probable culpable people in this scenario. That is the only time. And it was only then that all of a sudden we hear all these horrible things about Seth. I find that ironic, especially when their team finally exposed that they've been peddling this stuff behind the scenes. They've been peddling this stuff behind the scenes. They've been creating their own chaos in their own case, and it was proven on ET's channel. What parents would do that? Create their own chaos in their own missing child's case. That doesn't scream guilt at all. Not at all. Not at all. I still have green crochet lizard for... Aw. Aw, Lady Justice, thank you. You should send something to me. I'll post it on... If you're part of our true crime group, you're more than welcome to post that stuff on there. That true crime group is kind of like, I have groups for specifically for the victims, like Sebastian has Justice for Sebastian Rogers. And those I like to keep all about, you know, the victim, the whatever, whoever's name's on the top of those groups. But on the Bullhorn Betty true crime group, that's kind of a free-for-all. That's for discussion of other cases we're not talking about. That's for sharing other missing children cases that we can't get to. That's really a channel, a group for my audience, you know, to conversate, to talk about cases that are important to them, you know, go over some details. It doesn't have to be a case that we are covering. If we're covering a case, we typically have a designated group for those discussions on that particular case. But our Facebook group, our true crime group, that's for you guys, okay? That's for you guys to share new cases. That's for you guys to advocate for missing cases that are near and dear to your heart, because we have that group and that group is growing, and that is a great place to drop some information. And like you Lady for Justice, you've got stuff that you're raising for Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. You're more than welcome to put that on there, and you can put that on our Justice for Sebastian group as well. Because it's specific to Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. So please don't forget to utilize those groups. Those groups are set up for you guys. I go through them when cases are breaking with the Justice for Sebastian Rogers. We were always in that group pulling different topics of conversation. So I go in there, but you know, as we start getting more laser focused on certain details, I do away with, you know, talking. I'll watch and monitor the channel, but I kind of do away with bringing stuff up because we're past that point. But I still want you guys to conversate and deliberate and go through all of those things in those chat room. So what is new? I gotta say, I'm very thankful that we got to see Nick the Hat. You know, Nick the Hat has been going through struggles himself. It seems like this unscrupulous PI that likes to call people and tell them he's the lead investigator, implying he's law enforcement, not differentiating that he's the lead private investigator for the family. He does that intentionally. I think that's a violation of his license. And as a matter of fact, I think that's impersonating a law enforcement officer. And I think somebody should be filing a report against him if that is the way he was handling things. He's been trying to get Nick the Hat locked up like in jail for speaking, because he thinks he's the only person that can control a narrative. We're kicking Steve SF Investigates the hell out of the true crime community. He can stay with the Roach coaches, but he is not true crime. We're going to make sure that we send out our letters to all of our national partners that we communicate with, and I have the ability to. Then I'm going to display exactly why this guy's a piece of shit, because he's not going to get on any more national platforms if I have anything to do with it, because he's a piece of shit. Okay? Let's face it. The dude's a piece of shit. Okay? He's running interference in an active and ongoing and criminal investigation. He's telling people he's the lead investigator, implying he's law enforcement, which he's not. And he can't even get his research done correctly. And when he's called out on it by legitimate research, he's dogged. Or they're dogged, rather, by him. And he doubles down on his crap research that can literally have holes poked into it. Mob Crew is livid. One, for being called a liar when he's bringing the truth. And two, because he's pointed out this, he thought he was dealing with a legitimate PI. So he pointed these things out to Steve, and Steve refuses to change it because he's driving a narrative for his criminal clients. And I'm going to call them criminal clients because they abuse children. Okay? CP and KP, I don't know if KP abused her. I have to say she abused her child. She was neglectful. We saw her. She doesn't love her kid. I doubt she has any emotion for her son whatsoever. She's crying. I'm sure she's crying behind the scenes to anybody that'll listen to her, but she's crying for herself because she knows she's done effed up. And the F up she did, she can't undo. So it's only a matter of time before her ass and her stinking ass husband are behind bars, in my opinion. And I can't wait for that day. And I can't wait for that day to go there and watch them go in there and know that they're not coming out. They don't get to sit in there for 19 hours and be released on bunk charges. Their asses will be in there and they will stay. And I can't wait for that day. And when we're done with this and they are behind bars, we're going to be attacking the hate channels that caused so much interference that delayed the cuffs going on their wrists. These hate channels, including J4J, has never gotten a damn thing right, even back to the Gabby Petito case. Why? Because she was on the phone with me and JLR getting the information and her leads. Call me a liar, Jay. You've not done crap for yourself in 4 years. That's why nobody pays attention to you. Stay with your cockroaches. And when the time is right, crawl under the rock and never come back out from under it. That's where she needs to be. She's too old for this. She needs to go and have a relationship with her children that she left and quit worrying about everybody else's children until she gets her own life put back together. And hey, Jay, we all know you're on substances. Your erratic behavior has proven to be. So why don't you get that in check? And if you need help, seriously, one addict to another, I've got plenty of resources. 90 meetings, 90 days. It'll change your life. It'll change your life. All right. Enough about me. Let's get on the case with Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. He went missing when he was 15 years old. He recently had a birthday. He's 16 years old. We have an unscrupulous PI withholding information, making up information, and peddling his made-up information across social media. We denounce that kind of work. The bottom line is the house next to the Proudfoots is the one that was caught on those cameras, not the one that's directly on the same side of the road as this Yahoo wants us to believe, because he's an idiot and he honestly believes he can sell freaking ice to an Eskimo. Well, he can't, because he's just a nasty, dirty piece of crap. He's a dirty PI. He's an unscrupulous PI, an unethical PI, and an unprofessional PI. And if you don't believe me, just go over to his Twitter and read how he speaks. No professional speaks like that, and no professional speaks like that to women. Consistently women. He is a woman abuser, and all these women want to suck his little you-know-what? No. We don't like men like that. We denounce men like that. I remember when he tried to approach me and said, oh, let's just all work together for the common goal for Layla Santinello. I don't work with internet PIs, okay? That's what I told him. And he lost his shit over it. He's going to deny those conversations, but we had them literally on Twitter. So unless he deleted them, they should still be there. I will never work with him. I only work with true professionals. Jason Jensen, if I had an opportunity to speak with him or work with him on a case, I would jump at it in a heartbeat. This Yahoo? Absolutely not. That's why he works alone. No one, and I mean no one, outside of an idiot, would work with him. So we know Steve Crabtree is a fucking idiot on a Sunday. Excuse my language. And now he's up there crying. And I heard this crackpot of people basically blaming me for him losing his job. I've never called anything. I stay away from that Crabtree jerk. Every time he changes his thing, I can't trust him. I left him out for a very, very, very long time. I don't, they're like, oh, well, who else got somebody? First of all, they even lie about Don Wells getting fired. He never got fired. He got thrown off that job. He got thrown off that job. And I own it, and I'm very proud of it. So what? So what? And I own the stuff I do, just like Don Wells. A-okay for me. I've never talked about this Yahoo Crabtree. I've never reached out to anybody. And you know what you'll find out, Steve Crabtree? It was probably somebody from those hate channels that did that to you. Just saying. They're dirty ass bitches. You're going to find out that somebody did that to you to blame somebody on this side. So it came from your own camp. Probably 99.9% of this is all from your own camp. So I'd be looking within before you start going out. Just saying. My little tidbit of advice. I can't believe anything from SF. Nobody can. Do you think that they put Sebastian in a home? No. There's one thing that, let me see if I can play that. I think I did make it yesterday. Just give me a second. Let me go to my channel real quick. Let me go to videos. I'm pretty sure it's in the 6-minute video. I think it's in the 6-minute video. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. I think this is the one that I clipped Elevated Truth.
Hey guys, good evening, Bullhorn Betty.
No, that's not it. Hold on, maybe it's the 20-minute one I did. Hold on, guys. Might have been the 20-minute one I did. I think it might be the 20-minute one I did. It's one of them, but it has Elevated Truth saying something about
Some concerns, and he is a little in these cases. He was arriving, and what was revealed
supposedly on the night that Sebastian disappeared. You know, they go through and they check like all the Wi-Fi in the area, and there was only 2 Wi-Fi's that came in that area and left that area. Like 2 open networks, 2 traveling Wi-Fi's came in and left.
And if he said my wife.
There was one that he did. Maybe I watched it yesterday. There was one that he did where he basically said, if everybody was, you want me to believe, maybe it's this one. Hold on, let me find it. Maybe it's this one right here. Might be. I can't remember where it was.
I know, so my point is, it was said that your truck was there.
That's back in the truck. It must have been the one that he dropped yesterday. I was listening to one, and I clipped it, and it basically said, you want me to believe that all 3 of these people... Yeah, this has got to... Where did I put that? I know I did the video. Did I put it on... No, here it is. Okay, I didn't realize I didn't have the right one up. This is the one right here.
It appears that E.T. has been withholding a lot of information from the public that he has held in confidentiality with the mom and stepdad of Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers. Hi guys, I'm Bullhorn Betty, and this is another explosive information that I think we may have missed. Check this out.
All people have been doing is lying to y'all. After this live, I assure you there are going to be people that are very angry at me. Who's going to be the voice for Sebastian? It's not Katie. It's not Chris.
Hey guys, Bullhorn Betty here. There is some explosive new information coming out about the Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers case. You're going to want to check this out.
Oh, and I just saw this. Judy Jones, God bless you. Thank you so very much for your super sticker. God bless you. I wish I could put it up on the screen, but I'm running straight through YouTube, and I can't put anything up on the screen. So thank you. God bless you. I appreciate everything. And I think that was to open up the phone lines after this. So we'll open up the phone lines. I'll have to do it like I did Karen, put it on this screen here, and we're just going to hear it through the phone.
Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers disappeared when he was 15 years old. He's recently turned 16 years old, and he disappeared from inside his locked home in Hendersonville, Tennessee. The weird and odd situation is he was inside that home with only his mother, allegedly. And the next morning she woke up, he was gone and has never been seen or heard from since. Now we have staunch supporters of the mom and stepdad starting to flip the switch. This is some information that we had no idea about. A lot of us went right to E.T.'s interview with Chris, but we never paid attention to what led up to that. And it seems like there are some major disturbing things that are weighing heavily on his heart and on his mind. So he decided to express himself, and some people didn't appreciate it. Check all this out.
Anybody at this point has been yelling from the rooftops about their son. That's fucking sad. Why are we trusting people that haven't been cleared by law enforcement? So if all three of them
Here it is.
were okay with putting him in a facility, why would it make any sense for one of them individually to kidnap him and go hide him in a facility?
Does that even make sense? Why would anybody, if they were all okay, you know, let's get him into a facility at least until his daddy can get a hold, you know, take him in and get him properly, you know, in the schools and stuff like that, then why would somebody need to steal him and go hide him? Which is what we've been saying from the very beginning. It makes no sense. And this was before we found out that just recently when the Proudfoots decided to leak information, one-sided leak of information that ended up turning around and biting them right in their butt. But, you know, these are questions we had, right? I'm not sure why E.T. was on their camp. It shouldn't be a camp. It should be for Sebastian. But at the end of the day, I'm not turning a blind eye to the fact that we know what we know. We know that there were things going on inside that home long before we found out about 5 CPS reports, long before we found out about this email of him possibly going over to a facility of some sort. The reason why there are sides is because you got a mom and a stepfather that are lying through their teeth about a child that was in their home that's no longer in their home and seem to be living their best life and totally fine with everybody just moving on from this child. And then on the other side, you have a father that is doing everything he can, putting his neck on a chopping block, fighting and fighting and fighting, bringing things through. All of this ruckus that we're dealing with on all of these channels is a direct result of Sebastian's father, Seth Rogers, not giving up on his son when the father, the stepfather, and the mother have already given up on him. Don't want nothing to do with him. Chasing everybody off that goes out there and searches. Allows people to take measurements in their community as long as it's for them. But somehow own the roads that the public paid for, and anybody else that comes there goes to jail because they don't like them, and they have the support of, well, I don't know if they have the support of law enforcement anymore. We'll see. But at the end of the day, they did these things. We've been side-eyeing them for a while because we knew something wasn't right. There are two sides because we refuse to work with monsters. Okay? And in my purview, Chris and Katie Proudfoot are monsters in my world. Monsters. Okay? That's just my opinion, allegedly. My opinion. It might be some of my audience opinion. I'm pretty sure that a lot of my audience feels the same way that I feel. How they treated this child, their child, is appalling to me. That's why there's sides. Because we refuse to work with people that injure children. Especially medically needy children. I can tell you for me, I will never work with the mother and the stepfather to help them find their child that they lost. Because they know where he is. And I say that with all reality, allegedly, and in my opinion, because that's what I have to do, but that is what I believe to my heart and in my soul. They know where he is. They want to find him. They can get in their freaking ritzy-ass vehicles and go get him. That's what they can do. And until they're willing to do that, you can count me, you can count any support that I have from all the people that I have it from. You can count us all out. We ain't helping you. We're here for Seth. We're helping Seth. Why? Because he's the only one that has showed the world he gives a damn about his son. That's why we do what we do. I want to sit on my platform and make this crystal clear to all the hate channels. I will never help them. Ever. Ever. The only thing that they're going to get help from Bullhorn Betty is helping them lock their asses up. That's the only help they're going to get from Bullhorn Betty. My job's not done until the people that are responsible for why we're here today are sitting behind bars and they're put in a room that they can't leave without permission. And maybe when Miss Big Bubba hears that mouth, maybe he will give CP what CP gave Sebastian. Throwing away all his stuff. Ripping his stuff apart. Making sure he doesn't have anything he can hold for himself. That's the only thing I want for those people. Hell, that's my prayer for a Christmas gift. Because we know something happened inside that home. And this child did not walk out barefooted. They forgot to put his damn shoes or take his shoes with him. That's the only explanation for that. But hey, I'm just an idiot with an opinion and a microphone. Just an opinion and a microphone. And do damn good investigative work. Damn good investigative work. I don't sit in my home. I don't sit in a basement. And I hate being on these live chats when I'm not out in the field. But I know my work. And I know when I'm led somewhere, I'm led somewhere because of true facts, not opinions. So, what can we do? Okay, now that I'm done with my release of BS, you know, sharing my feelings. I don't like these things called feelings. I don't like these things called feelings. As a matter of fact, I was teased last night because two people are like, "Oh, you actually have some feelings." You know what I told them? And I'm going to tell all of you guys the same thing. Oh, here. Yeah, I actually got a button for it. Shut up. Yeah, that's pretty much what I told them. Thank you, Doodle Mom. Post 10 flyers daily for Sebastian. So we have a 10 flyer challenge. This is an initiative that Seth brought up last night. And that initiative is, instead of complaining, instead of being Bullhorn Betty, you're going to be better than Betty, okay? And so what Better Than Betty does is they print out 10 flyers and then they go post those 10 flyers up. So be better than Betty, okay? Be better than Betty. Now, granted, I did post 250 flyers and never got arrested for posting flyers, but apparently got arrested for driving around to post the flyers. Make it make sense. I don't know. It's Sumner County, okay? I don't know what to say about that. But long story short, I think I got my 10 flyers in. So I guess I want people to be better than Betty, okay? So if you're in the community, I would, since the mom and stepdad don't want any help finding their child, all they really want is crackpot investigative work, so it appears that they had nothing to do with it when we all know something ain't right here. I'm going to stand on that. I don't care. You know, call law enforcement, have me arrested, right? Because I think the mom and stepdad did something terrible to their child. Terrible is abusive. Terrible as in possibly sending him off. I don't believe in the school thing. I'm sorry. I love Seth to death. But he knows I try to have hope for him, and it's Christmas time, and I'm trying. But these people are getting on my last nerve because we know what we know. And it comes down to this statement right here that E.T. stated. Let's listen to that again. Because this is where I have the biggest problem believing he's in a facility. And it sounds like E.T. does too, which is surprising because I didn't think we agreed on any damn thing. I thought he was a mean-ass bully piece of, you know what. I don't know how he got involved with these felons. I mean, he looks like he's got actual brain cells. And it sounds like he cares. So why the flip would he be with these horrible people? Why would he be with these horrible people? I don't know. I don't know. Oops, let me go back that way. Let's listen.
Cleared by law enforcement. So if all three of them were okay with putting him in a facility, why would it make any sense for one of them individually to kidnap him and go hide him in a facility? You want me to believe, as someone who was as a child, you want me to believe that you're going to sit out here and talk about the things that Seth did to you, and that, you know, all of these horrible things, but yet y'all co-parent, you send your son to their house, or to his house, you give permission for him to go live there and go to school there, but a simple GoFundMe broke y'all. Not the alleged abuse that you claim occurred before you were 18 years old, which conveniently only came out after Seth made a statement about things that happened before Sebastian was born. It was never brought to the table before then. You're telling me you look past that. You allowed your son to have a relationship with the person who abused you, allegedly, according to you. I'll stand on the 2 feet saying, you, Katie, said he didn't. You want me to believe that you can't get past the money in order to work to find your child?
Wow. Wow. What do you say about that? What do you say about that? Guys, it's coming up to where we need to start moving to church. I want to tell Judy Jones, thank you for sponsoring the call-in show. We're not doing the call-in show on this one because we're backed up to church right now. But as soon as church is over at noon, we're going to open our channel up. I'm going to be on StreamYard, and we are going to have a call-in show where we openly discuss these allegations coming from ET that are saying, hey, you know, things aren't right over here in Denmark, right? So let's ponder our feelings. Go back, if you're not going to be in church with us right now, go back and search or watch ET and his commentary. He had a 4.5-hour live the night that CP came up on his panel, okay? And just like me, I went straight, because it was after the live had ended, and I went straight to the interview. And I'm sure many people did exactly what I did, went straight to the interview. Well, there was a lot of commentary before CP got up there. And this is why he couldn't control himself, is because ET was dropping some bombs on his show, and he was about to drop more before CP came up there and distracted him and wanted to condemn him and argue with him about what he knew. Now, I understand ET is going to be keeping some of those confidential conversations confidential. It sounds like he's already spoken to Sumner County as well as TBI about information that he knows, so he's doing it the right way. We can't condemn the guy for that. I'm just still sitting here shaking my head, wondering how this guy that actually has brain cells is over there with the felons. Who would associate with the felons unless he's a felon and he, gives the brother felon an opportunity until he sees how dirty they are? I don't know. I really don't know. But this is an interesting turn of events. I've heard his statements. He's not willing to come off the fact that he has these feelings. It sounds like he is still trying to stay in that sector of it instead of just admitting that, something put him on the fence and something's now kicked him off the fence and into our direction. He's still having, in my opinion, from what I'm seeing, he's still having this tug of war of what he knows and the positions he has taken. It sounds like he is starting to draw a line in the sand and saying, no, I'm not here for these parents. I'm here for this child. And that is always welcoming information because many of us here are not here for the parents. Yes, we support Seth, but let's talk about this. Would our commentary change if we were not friends with Seth? The answer is no. Our commentary would not change because we're here for the truth, and the truth is the truth is the truth is the truth. Okay? We don't make the truth up like many other people try to do. When I was not and did not know Seth Rogers, did not know Tony, my commentary was still the same. It never changed. Why? Because the leads led me where they led me. It doesn't matter if I'm friends with a parent or not. I still do the work that I do with or without the parents. So it's nice to hear, but you can see, listen, guys, I mean, in all fairness, look at his face. This is not a person that's happy to be doing this. Okay? To me, I try to be fair with everything that I do. And for me, this is not a person, this is a person that appears on his face to be struggling with how he's feeling. And he has no outlet. Why does he have no outlet to discuss his feelings? Because the people he's associated with don't care about this boy. They only care about the narrative. He seems like he gives a shit about this boy. And the hell with the narrative, even though he's been a part of it. But I think he's realizing he's been a part of it, and he does not want to be a part of it. He wants the truth to come out. It sounds like he's had some childhood trauma himself, and he's here for the victim. And if he's here for the victim, how in the world can he support people that have victimized this child? And I think a little by slow, he knows that's the truth. And I think that's where his struggle is, because he's a human being, first and foremost. And he does have childhood trauma that has affected him. And he has experience in that childhood trauma. So if he was confused before, I think he's coming off of his confusion now. It seems like he's really ready to fight for Sebastian. And you know what? It took a big step for him to go against his people and to call law enforcement. And you know what? We give credit where credit's due. I would never want him to do something or say something that he would, later regret. So I absolutely support him for not violating confidential communications, as long as he told law enforcement them. I mean, yes, I'm a content creator. Of course I want to know what he's heard, seen, saw, whatever. Naturally, I would, right? But in this case, I respect his decision to do it his way. I mean, that's just how we roll, right? As long as you're doing it the right way, I really don't care whether I know about it or don't know about it, because at the end of the day, it comes down to Sebastian. If I've got to put and check my BS with Sumner County and what they did to me and check that and put that aside for the betterment of Sebastian, certainly he can step up to the plate and speak about what he knows, right? So I do want to just tell E.T., I know we don't get along. We're probably never going to get along. It seems like we have, you've acquired the hate that everybody else has had. But at the end of the day, I'm glad that you're seeing through some of the bull crap, and I'm glad that I'm not saying that you're going to be this side, but hey, I'm better in the middle than I am on the right or the left, right? He said he's autistic, so this has got to hit home for him, and that's just sad. And I don't understand how he got so confused or moved. I mean, his gut had to have been telling him, this doesn't feel right. This isn't right. I mean, that's my gut tells me these things. I stay away. If I don't know, I stay away. Like I said, I'd rather not help somebody than help a monster. I mean, sorry. That's just my stance on it. You know? Elevated truth, help bring Sebastian home. Yeah, absolutely. And we need to, if the man is going to do what is right, now, we need more time to see if this is not just a, and I have to say it, but we need to make sure that this is not just an attention-seeking stunt, right? Or a publicity stunt, or a way to get more people over to his channel and stuff like that. If he's truly about Sebastian Wayne Drake Rogers, though, only time will tell. We need to be supporting that, as difficult as that is. Because at the end of the day, it's about the truth. It's about finding Sebastian. It's about finding out what happened to Sebastian. And we can't do that if we can't look at the two people that are the most responsible for this child. And that's what it is. They were the most responsible for this child. And this child had a specific illness or defect, I don't want to say that because everybody's going to blow up, but, medical ailment. I don't know if it's a disability, if it's a mental cognitive type of thing, if it's, I just don't know what to call it. So it's not, I come from ignorance when I talk about this stuff. I mean, I've been educated a little bit more, but in all fairness, I come from ignorance when it comes to autism. So it's never that I'm trying to be, what's the word I'm looking for? Disrespectful or anything like that. But it's hard because I think it's like, I can never tell if it's like a cognitive thing or if it's like just a medical thing. I don't know. I don't want to be like derogatory or anything like that or whatever. But the bottom line is this child had stuff going on with him, and his behaviors and his structure was the same each and every day. So they did the same things. And so for a child to do something out of the ordinary, such as running away from home, you would still expect certain things to still happen in conjunction with their behaviors. And that's where we're having a problem, because he is autistic. He does have strict behaviors, and all those behaviors went out to the wayside for him to run away from home without taking his shoes, his belongings, a jacket, food, money, even trinkets to play with. Okay, so Ocean Joy says autism is a disability in Arizona. It's one of 5 qualifying for DDD services. Okay, thank you. Like I said, I don't, sometimes, I know people tease me, they tease me no matter what, but I just try to make sure that I'm factual, even with the ailments and stuff like that. I don't want to say like it's a mental health thing when it's a cognitive thing, and so we'll say it's a disability. So either way you look at it, his disability has a layer of a schedule, the behaviors of doing the same thing over and over again. ASD is a mental health diagnosis. Okay. So either way, you guys get what I'm trying to convey anyways. And it sounds like this is hitting home for him. But again, if he has autism and he's been abused, I don't understand why in the world he was in the camp with QB, and he says stuff about how chlamydia has been there with him and this, that, and the other. It doesn't matter. She's dirty. She's not helping this case, and she's actually helping the abusers of a disabled boy. And I don't understand how somebody, a man that used to be a disabled boy, can stand behind that and support that, no matter how nice somebody is to him. Like, I mean, my ex, the one that stuck a knife up to my throat, he's the nicest person to me today. It doesn't mean I go and break bread with him, right? It doesn't mean I go and break bread with him. The man almost killed me. So I don't understand. That's where I come from. Like, I don't understand. I would never support anybody that has abused somebody. Why? Because I've been abused. And so there's things here that I just can't for the life of me get over. And when I feel a certain way, I'd rather shut down and observe to make sure I'm on the right path before I ever help a specific person. I'll always help the victim. I will always advocate for the victim. But when it comes to the family, I am very selective on who I work with, if I work with anybody at all. Very selective. And there's a reason why I'm very selective. Anyways, guys, come back here. It'll probably be about 12:30 today. We're going to do a call-in show. It'll be ran through StreamYard, so we'll have good quality, sound versus, through the phone like this. So I'll see you guys over at church. For those that want to come to church, I know there's a lot of people that maybe lost faith, right? Maybe lost faith, maybe have been, have some ailments, have been, bed bound or wheelchair bound and have mobility issues, are unable to get to church, haven't been to church in a really long time. Well, the great news is we're in 2024 and there's a lot of things online, including church. And while I was looking for a new brick and mortar church for me to go to, I realized that I had a lot of people that had mobility issues that couldn't go to church themselves. So that's when Robin, she's one of our old mods, had brought up her church, and I started watching it, and it really put a lot of joy in my mornings on Sunday. And so I started bringing the coffee club over to the church, and it's really been a great hit for a lot of the coffee clubbers here, especially the ones that don't get to go out and go to church. They still get to go to church with people that they see and that they consider friends and that they know, and it's just been a win-win situation for everyone. So I hope you guys come over. Today's a great day for us to pray, all the way to Christmas. We're still begging for a miracle. We're still praying that Sebastian comes home, comes walking through the door happy and healthy. But we definitely need to pray, and there's no better place to pray, in my opinion, than church. So let's help move mountains for this family, for Sebastian, for Seth, for those that love Sebastian. Let's help move mountains. I'll see you guys over at Countryside Christian Church here in just a few moments. God bless each and every one of you. Don't forget, we are doing a call session, and you guys can thank Judy Jones for that. She's the one that sponsored the call session. I got time, 4 months. Thank you. Melanie said, hey, you, I appreciate that. Lady Justice, thank you so much. And Grace Upon Grace gifted 1 Bullhorn Betty membership. So be back here at 12:30, and we will open up the phone lines and have a deliberation on all of the information that has broke over the last few days. God bless you. We'll see you soon.